He pointed me to God. Will your children say that about you? At the funeral that was held at night or as the sun was setting in California, at that time, the graveside ceremony, that at that point his son Michael said this. His adopted son, his marriage with Jane Wyman, the son still with him, the son still positive, and he said this. He said, "What I will remember forever is that my life was changed by my father. His determination, his perseverance came from his deep relationship with the Lord Jesus. He pointed me to God." Will your children say that about you? His persistence, his determination, and his relationship with the Lord Jesus. Dan Quayle said about him, he was down to earth. He had a faith that showed through, a faith that showed through. As I thought of my husband, I realized my husband had a faith and a face that shone, a faith that shone through. And when we would get onto airplanes, my husband would always be happy. He would smile, he would whistle. And as we'd get on, many times the stewardess would say, "How come you're so happy?" And he'd say, "If you want to know, come and see me when we get settled." And I remember one day, just one in many examples, of a day when the female flight attendant came over and she said to him, "Will you tell me now why you're so happy?" And as my husband began to share his faith with her, she dropped to her knees in the aisle of American Airlines, grabbed onto my husband's arm, and she said to him, "That's what I need. I need Jesus." And I remember that because, you see, my husband had that faith that showed to other people. People could see it. And that's the way they said with Reagan. Now, as this funeral took place, and we saw all the ex-presidents there with their heads bowed, we realized the sincerity of the belief in the Lord Jesus. Reverend John Danforth said, he's now the appointed ambassador of the UN. He said, what he asked of America, he first asked of himself. He was shining through the light, and he was shining the light on others, not on himself.